Welcome back to another episode of EventHubs Talking Block. I am John Catalyst Gray, and with me as always is John Velociraptor Guerrero.
It's been some 30 years, I feels like, since we did one of these. Now, we've changed things up, of course, you guys know that, but we have some exciting news to react to for today. We just saw it, got the front page post up, took a shower, and now we're reacting to it, all right? So a little bit of a buffer time there, but it's still pretty much off the cuff. Exciting Street Fighter 6 news at San Diego Comic-Con. We were hoping for a character reveal. Capcom did not promise a character reveal. We did not get one, at least not officially. There might have been a little something that was said accidentally on the side, and we'll get into that a bit. But before we do all of that stuff, guys, we work hard on this. We're trying to grow this YouTube channel. It would help so much if you could like, comment, subscribe. If you have friends, tell them about it. If you know any bots, I hear that those really help with algorithms. So if you know any bots, let them know, tell their friends and family, and thank you so much.
Yeah, it's actually a tradition for Capcom to announce alternative outfits at Comic-Con. That is what they do. People were expecting definitely some more, but we got Ryu in his classic Street Fighter 2 outfit with his iconic white gi, I should say, and red headband. He's also clean shaven. Since shout outs to being clean here, that was a theme, and no longer hot Ryu in this outfit. But you were mentioning, though, that this is not quite his Street Fighter 2 look. You said it's something a little bit different, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I was corrected by a commenter in our story. So thank you, commenter, that I don't remember name right now. But yeah, so these are all sort of like nostalgic classic versions of these characters. Well, the ones that have classic versions of their costumes. And Ryu's looks like his Street Fighter 4/5 costume, which is very, very close to his Street Fighter 2 costume. The only difference that I can garner is, or observe here, is that in Street Fighter 2, his gloves or his gauntlets are brown, and then they were updated to be red in Street Fighter 4, and then they carried on into 5, so that's what this looks to be. But I mean, it's basically Ryu from back in the day. You know, that's the idea here. In his modern Street Fighter 6 look, he's got Goken's I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but his Goken's sash thingy. And he's all stubbly and hot Ryu. In this one, he's younger Street Fighter 4, not as hot Ryu.
John, what do you think of this? Do you like this look? Do you think this is a good callback here? Like, what do you think?
Especially with the way they've been doing nostalgia costumes in Street Fighter 5, those have gone over really well. It's always exciting to see what the old version of these characters that we know and love so well will look like in the most modern and updated graphics. So yeah, absolutely. I think that this was coming one way or another, and this is just fine. I will say that it could just be this. We'll have to wait until we see it fully, but Ryu looks like he's got some red eyes in one of these. I cannot not see it, and I wonder why he's got red eyes. But I'll leave that to you guys in the comments section. Why do you think Ryu has such red eyes in this look? But I'm actually the most impressed and excited for Chun-Li's costume.
Oh, but on Ryu, though, I wanted to mention that he actually looks discernibly older here. Like, he's not like the alpha version, because, you know, like some throwbacks and stuff in Street Fighter 5, they have the nostalgia costumes, and he looks noticeably younger. In this, they kept his old man stuff.
Oh, that is,
he doesn't have this double. So it's quite interesting there. But as you were talking about Chun-Li, what do you think of Chun-Li?
She looks absolutely beautiful in this game. She's technically older, but I wouldn't even say she looks older. I don't see any lines in the face, none of that stuff that when women get older. Anyways, the old costume here.
No, continue on that segment, John. Why don't you go ahead and
my wife watch this, and then I'll sleep on the couch. No. But yeah, she looks. It looks really nice. The colors and everything. It's like perfect. She puts back on the spiked bracelets that she's traded in for little gold, kind of like bangle things. It looks really good. I am excited to see what this costume looks like when in action, because you know what? It's the quiet part that people aren't saying out loud, but we're all thinking it. Chun-Li has some assets in Street Fighter 6. When she's wearing like full-on pants, it's one thing. She's just a traditional costume. I'm like, the game's gonna be rated M, but I'm interested to see how that looks, you know, for scientific reasons.
Yeah, the original developer of Street Fighter 2, like that designed Chun-Li, he was obsessed with her thighs, and it's good that those have come back, because, you know, I mean, that's what's Chun-Li without those thighs, right? She has to have them, and not only speaking of that, she's also brought back her taunt from
Street Fighter 4,
which we're going to show, which can actually hit you. You know, she'll say sorry or do whatever and stuff, and she'd actually hit you with her little, you know, fist and stuff there, which is pretty darn epic. And then, you know, definitely the Street Fighter 4 callbacks here.
Do you think that they'll have significance to the taunts where you get little buffs or boosts or anything like that?
It's quite interesting. I mean, that was a third strike feature, and they've kind of gone away from that because, the disrespectful factor of things. I don't think so. I think a few of them, though, will have hitboxes, or you can do some stuff with them to actually, KO someone. Think of Birdie's Booger and Street Fighter 5, where you could actually KO someone with that and a few other things. I think there's going to be a few one-offs that do that, but overall, I don't think they're going to bring that back.
Fair enough. Hey, what do you think of Guile's new old look?
Guile looks pretty darn good to me, and so we can see his classic green color here, but one of the things about it is that they mentioned that the player 2, the second color here for his alternative outfit is actually from Champion Edition, where he was brown or pink. Depending on the monitor you played on, you might have been like, oh, where's the pink Guile from Champion Edition? So that was at least my experience from back in the day, but looks pretty darn good. Very much what you would expect him to look like. And again, he also looks a good bit older as well. He definitely age has been somewhat kind to him here. He's still got, muscle atrophy to be damned.
Yeah.
He still looks pretty darn good.
Street Fighter has traditionally had weird, wonky, like dimensions and features in characters to emphasize certain things during the fight. And we even did a video about how, like, certain characters, Guile especially, wouldn't look good in his traditional kind of approach. They've done a great job of still capturing what he would traditionally look like, but they give him eyebrows and they give him hair that actually makes sense and sort of obeys the laws of physics. That's actually one of my favorite things about Guile so far, is that he looks like a real representation of what Guile could look like if he were a human, So and this old look, it does total justice to the SF2 version of him.
Yeah, and the nostalgia costumes are like a pretty much like a absolute must include in these games, and you've got to bring back the iconic costumes, and hopefully, like, I would think something like Blanca's Explorer outfit from Street Fighter 4 or something would come back if Blanca's in the game. Probably is going to be in the game, but if he is, things like that I would love to see come back. And again, so these nostalgia costumes are really important for people, and then Capcom could charge you the $5 extra for it, like they want to do, but you don't have to have these, but of course, we have to have them. Yeah, so.
The essentials. So then both Luke and Jamie get alternate costumes here, and these actually are both kind of similar. Now, these guys don't really have callback costumes to go to. Luke technically does, but I don't think that's really what they went with here. The big thing about Luke's is that they gave him shoes. That's what everybody was reacting to, is that Luke's got shoes on.
Got Tim's on, baby.
And is that like a backwards hat? It kind of looks like his younger
it's like
version?
a backwards hat he's got with his hair coming out and everything like that. He's got the ripped jeans. I mean, he's
silly.
You know what he is? He's coming straight out of the 90s, John. That is a 90s throwback. You can see Marky Mark coming right out next to him doing some workout stuff. You put some good vibrations on there, and Luke is right at home.
Luke was like maybe born in the 90s, but I don't know. The more I see this character, the less I'm like, oh, awesome. Maybe it's my relationship with him in Street Fighter 5. He's fine. He's good, but this didn't get me as hype as the other characters. I liked Jamie's a little bit more, which it looks similar to what they've got going on with Luke, and I think if that's what they were going for, it's because these two are rivals, a la Ryu and Ken in a more modern time and a new generation of Street Fighter. So they have kind of like a similar Capcom yellow and blue color scheme from what I can tell in the visuals here. Jamie also has kind of like that yellow jacket, but his only goes down like to above his waist or so. And he's got that gaudy gold chain that they were sure to plant. What did they say about the chain?
Yeah, they said that you pay special attention to it because they put a lot of work into that chain. And I just remember Birdie's chain from Street Fighter 5, how it clipped through his body at all points in time. I'm hoping that the work that they put in includes a good amount of clipping there with the Reach for the Moon engine, which, they're not using Unreal Engine anymore with all the problems that engine has. We're kind of basically saying, like, look, like all the stuff that we complained about better be addressed. And I think that's probably why they're shouting that out to some degree is body jewelry was notorious for clipping through in Street Fighter 5.
It really was.
I'm really hoping that that's basically fixed in here, but I think Jamie looks great. I'm actually fairly excited about this character. And again, me, I'm a fan of some of the good guys who are villains, which is, Yin and Yang, and Jamie again is just a callback right to that because, he's fighting for good, on the streets and stuff like that. So I really like the way he looks here.
Yeah, I do too. And especially if that chain thing is a reference to Birdie, especially on the character select screen of Street Fighter 5. I've said it many times, both here and in stories and whatnot. I think that looks so shoddy. That's awesome. Awesome of them to be paying on that level of detail. Dude, Street Fighter 6, knock all the wood in the world, is looking really exciting thus far. I'm just going to say that.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it because you don't want to jinx it. But, speaking of jinxing, we got to mention this as well. So Ken was officially hinted at during the panel here. Of course, we've all seen the leak list, and I will mention this about Capcom though, is that they are notorious for when leaks do come out, that they move stuff around. Now, Kin is one of those characters I don't think they're going to actually move around here. I think he's going to be in the game one way or the other. But you basically got a official, unofficial confirmation that he's going to be there. They had slipped up and said he had been revealed already, or most recently revealed. So maybe we're looking at an Evo reveal, something like that. Who knows? But of course, we're all very happy to have Hobo Kin back. I mean, whatever Kin looks like in this next game.
We have no idea what he might look like. They were doing trivia. The question was which character shares a birthday with Colleen, and as the audience was struggling to get it, the panelists were starting to throw out some hints. One of the panelists said he was recently revealed for Street Fighter 6.
So it may not be Guile, but they share the same character.
We just announced them in Street Fighter 6.
Take that as you will, who knows, but if I had to put my bet on the next character to be revealed for Street Fighter 6, I would say Ken. And since it's not apparently not going to be here at San Diego Comic-Con, I'm assuming that's going to be at EVO, which is the weekend of August 5th through 7th, and of course it'll be that 7th, which is the Sunday of EVO. That's most likely when we're going to see it, either before or after Street Fighter Grand Finals and such. But I think
I'll be there, so if you see me, say hi. Feel free, come up and greet me.